Well, good evening to my viewer, whoever that might be. It might be Brainful Out. Welcome back to VP4TV, and we are back for some more Virtual World Championship. Well, one match tonight. We've got one tomorrow night. We'll cover that a bit later on. We have got a round 3 match in this year's inaugural, if that's the word, Virtual Bankpool World Championship. Welcome to Mr. Deanster. It's a round 3 match between LS3 and Cobra, both from the UK, and it's going to be a race to 6. One result to cover, the one from last night between One Pocket Slim and Real Poland Power Stub. Well, Slim was streaming at the same time he was playing, which is never advisable, and it cost him in the end. Slim's tactic of all-out attack didn't work for him, and Stub ran out easy with a 6-1 win. So Stub is now through to, is it round 4 he's through to? I think it's round 4, yep. And he's waiting on the winner. No, sorry, he plays Bedhead. Who is it that's waiting on a winner? That's the match tonight. In fact, we might not have a winner now. We've got Albinario and MC Clarkey in round 3. They have to arrange their match. We've got this match tonight, and obviously the winner of this match will play the winner of that match. So all the matches are going to be good from here on in the winner's side. Stub against Bedhead. The one lost side, not really an awful lot happening there in terms of matches being arranged. We've got Larry to play one Casino Jim, and then the winner of that match will play Slim. We've already got Bankster against Acero on that one lost side. We've got Sergeresh, who's waiting on a loser coming through, and we have, who the hell's that? Tommy. I think it's Tommy, and he's waiting, I think, on a loser as well coming through. So that is us up to date as far as the matches are concerned. This is the only match that's scheduled now. The other matches have got until the 28th, is that, or the 26th, 28th. So almost the end of the month before they get their matches set. We have a match tomorrow night in the Virtual World Snooker Championship, and I can't remember who that is, but I'm about to find out. Now who the hell was it again? Let's just have a look. And that is it there. We've got the one lost side match between Mal and Mr. Sharkey, and that goes ahead tomorrow night at 8 PM. There's also the match between Albinario and Semi Pro, a winners match, and that's been arranged for Sunday night. That is a race to 6. The only slight problem with that is if it goes all the way, I mean, these guys can score heavy given a chance, so frames could be over quite quickly. It's touch and go to start streaming that match and expect to finish it. I mean, if it goes, I mean, you can get 3 frames in an hour, no problem. You can sometimes get 4 if there's a high break in 1 or 2 of them. So let's say that would be like maybe 10 PM, 10:30, and then it could go beyond that. That's the only dilemma I'm in with that match, but anyway, we'll worry about that nearer the time. So this is the match we have tonight. I don't know whether Steve is going to join us. Welcome to Dwight. Hang on a wee minute, I'll just have a quick tab. No sign of him, so we're almost there. At not quite the top there, about a minute and a half away at the moment. I don't know whether this, let's see if this button's working, hang on a minute. That's the wrong one. What happens is when I tab out, hang on. Now can you still hear me? Give me a yes if you can still hear me. In fact, give me a yes if anybody's still there. Yes, you can hear me, good. I'm trying to remember what my mute button is. Right, I'm going to have one final tab out because the room has just gone up. Right, so the room is up. No sign of Steve. If he turns up, he may well enter the room, but we'll get in. So both players are in. Cobra's on the right hand side, Kloss at the right colour, and we'll have the lag for the break. Now that one looks a bit heavy in the left there, LS3. And Cobra wins the lag, so off he goes. So let's see if there's going to be any sort of strategy in this. Welcome to Fuzzy Dunlop. He's going for 6-3 to Cobra. I think that's the only prediction we've had so far. I mean, it's really hard to say how a match can go in this tournament, because everybody can bank to some sort of degree. I think that was a bit of a double kiss there, it sounded like it. Now that 6 may well bank. Let's check my other button. Bottom right hand corner. So LS3 off the mark. Again, there's nothing glaringly obvious as to what the follow-up shot's going to be. I mean, you could cross that 3, cut across the 3 and bank it into the top left. She looks like reverse banking this 5. So there is a choice there. The only problem with cross banking the 3 is, or cutting across the 3 is a scratch in the side. So this is going top right. I'll have a quick drink. That looks a beautiful pace. That was well picked out. Well, Steve said, I don't know the name of the guy, but Steve said that LS3 bought this guy's book. He does a book on bank shots. Well, if that's right, she's obviously been reading it as well. Again, looking to see where the follow-up's going to be, and this is it's a big cut in the 4 to bank this into the side, and got to get a hold of the cue ball because you don't want to scratch. And that's just gone long. Now Cobra has a chance on the 3 ball. I think it's the 3. Is it the 3 or the 5? I think it's the 3 in the middle of the table. Up top right. But again, there are other banks up table there where those 3 balls are, but he's got to get there. And that might be it. And that too looks too close to the rail for a bank. There's not enough room, I think, to really get away from that. It looks very tight. So he's looking at the 4 up and down. So again, got to get the cue ball out of the way of this, I think. I'm not sure what that was. Did he call a pocket there? I don't think he called a pocket, so I'm no clue where he was playing it. Welcome to semi-pro. Well, he says close. I think he was trying to bank it up and down. I think I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there, because it certainly wasn't going anywhere else. He hadn't called any other pockets, so the obvious one was the up and down bank. So this is going top left. And that's going way too wide. Where's the cue ball going, more importantly? Well, it's in a position where, again, you can bank the 4, and the 4 will bank. You can cut across the 1 and it will bank, both into this middle pocket, but other than that I don't see anything else. So 4 or the 1 ball, it's going to be the 1. And again, that one this time's gone short. So, talking about this computer, just to bore you guys, I may well have been without RAM, without 16 gig of RAM for a long time, because it set me thinking that, and I don't know whether it was an intermittent thing initially, but when I was thinking back about some of my XSplit broadcaster streams that I did, it was sort of lagging and hanging up, and I was getting messages coming up about high end use of the CPU and stuff like that, and I'm wondering whether that was the problem. I'll tell you, when the PC booted up, there was nothing happened. It didn't give a signal. But prior to that happening, when I got the PC back the first time, I installed an Intel program. I went to Intel's website, and it's got a little program that you download, and it scans your PC, and it comes back with a spec of your PC. But it also checks your drivers for any updates you need. No, I haven't got that. But anyway, to go back to what I was saying, that little program from Intel told me that I needed a couple of drivers to update on my PC, which I did. But in the meantime, when it gives you a page with all the spec of your computer, and I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking, it said 16 gig of RAM, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm sure this PC was 32 gig. And I thought no more about it. I thought, oh, it must be me then. I must be going crazy. So that's, and I don't know whether this is just a total complete coincidence. It must be, it has to be. And I thought, well, it just seems a bit weird. I'm sure I'm 32 gig, and I left it at that. And then I did that last live stream, and I'm sure I said to Slim, oh, I didn't do the live stream, it was Friday Night 9 Ball. I did Friday Night 9 Ball, then I went on to the commentary, and I'm sure I said something along the lines of, I think Slim says, is this you back playing? I said, well, I just wanted to play in a tournament because we've got the PC back before it goes all together. And then the next morning, or the next day when I got home from work, I switched the PC on and everything lit up in the PC as normal, and then I was getting no signal coming through on my monitor. So there's me stripping down the USB, the HDMI cable, swapping it over with another one, the usual basic things you do to check everything's okay, and no joy. So straight back down to the workshop, handed it into the guy, told him the problem, and it was, well, I had to go to work. When did I hand it in? It was a Saturday afternoon I handed it in, and he was only in his own, and he couldn't do anything on the Saturday. And then obviously on the Sunday they were closed. I was back at work on Monday, and then I got a text message on Monday saying everything's okay. We've fitted a new 16 gig of RAM. The other one was fried. That was his description, and I didn't get charged for it. It was put under my initial repair, so they let me off with that, and now I seem to be good to go now. So that's all over with. Meantime, with me chatting away, we've got Cobra finding himself in the lead. We've got 2 balls dead going nowhere in the top left. We've got a 9 ball that will bank. And in it goes. So Cobra has rack ball with this 2 ball, which every day of the week you'd expect him to get. Just to the right of the middle diamond. Oh no, he's went way too wide. You see how far that was? That was sort of there. There he hit it on the rail, and commentator's eye said just to the right of the middle diamond. Wait till I get this bloody thing to go to the right colour. That's better. He should have hit it a bit there to get that line. Not quite as much as that, more like that. But he went way too wide, and you know, that's a gilt edge opportunity I had there to win that rack. Well, it's a bit late for telling me how much RAM I've got. I'm just thinking, I wonder how long. I'm just wondering how long I was without that RAM. It's weird, and in fact, it's weird why the PC was still working in the first place. But the guy said that, you know, that's what happens, or what one of the symptoms can be when your RAM goes, is the PC will come on, but you'll not get anything coming through. Well, good evening to Bedhead. So anyway, Cobra wins the first game eventually. Cross bank on the 2 into the bottom right. Well, this will be a scratch, and well, there's nothing again here that's patently obvious for a bank here. The one up and down is a bit tight. It's a bit tight with that top rail and the jaw. Yeah, it was. It was two sticks of 16 in it. Yeah, see, that jaw was always going to come into play. It was too tight to get that bank up and down. Well, the one isn't easy now, Bedhead. Well, this table's pretty ugly now as far as opportunities go. There's got to be a wee bit of caretaking. I mean, there's a cross bank in the 3, and again, that's almost out the game now. The 3 ball, 1 ball's out the game. You've got the 6 and 8 not necessarily tied up, but any line that they have for a bank is pretty much gone as well, with the other balls around about. So 4 ball looks not a great line for a bank either, I don't think. LS3's picked it out. I wish I'd gone round the corner there to have a look at that. It didn't look good from this end. Not to my eyes, bear in mind I can't bank. Five ball has to be a cut across or a draw off it to try and get the cue ball out of the way. Oh, and that's the problem. Cue ball did get out of the way, but it went into the hole. Well, this has got to go in clean, this 6 ball. Touches any of the 3 and that's beautiful. If it touched any of the 3 it wouldn't have counted. But sweet as a nut, that one. So LS3 is on -1. Cobra might just be looking for some sort of safety shot here. Just leave the cue ball in the corner. Mind you, he can't. Wait a minute, he's on a score, isn't he? Is he on a score? No, he's not. There should be a poll of which games to delete from VP4. Bank pool or one pocket. Well, judging by the amount of people that play it, there's certainly not a lot of demand for it, let's put it that way. Well, this table now is virtually tied up. Now I wonder if that 8 ball will bank. No, I was looking to see whether it would go past, and there's no line for it to go either, so we've got a proper mess here. So this doesn't look as if it's going to be a quick rack. Now this is going to burst things open here for LS3, and she might regret that. This 7 ball will bank past the 2, and then of course Cobra might be trying to get in line for the 2 ball as well, which he has done. This could be costly. I mean, it's all out attack to reverse bank that 9, but you know, there was no way the cue ball wasn't going to be colliding with stuff and opening things up here. This is it could end up in a big sellout if this 3 ball goes, or the 4, and it is going to be the 4. 3 balls cut off with the 4, but I think there's room for the 4 to go. But again, Cobra knows that taking the 4 ball he's going to break open the 5 and 8, so he's going for the safer route, trying the reverse in the 1, and that's well played. And that takes him to 4, and this is going to be painful for LS3. Oh, Steve would be ranting and raving with that shot that LS3 played there, because this 9 ball's got to get in every day of the week. Oh, he's caught the jaw. And LS3 got off the hook there. And that just shows you about taking on shots like that to be aggressive. It can be deadly. Well, LS3 has a chance here, but she's got to get the cue ball out of there. Well, 9 ball will be a good one to follow, and then she's got to probably try and get around the corner here, possibly for the 4 or the 3. This is all about judging the pace as well. I mean, the pace in the bank has to be judged in the line, but the cue ball can't leak away too far, there'll be no shot on. And that's going long, and the cue ball did get away because there was nothing on there. And once again, with the 8 ball coming up and a choice to the 9, it's looking very likely odds on it's going to be 2-0 here. And it is. So, very quickly, we've got a 2-0 gap here in Cobra's favour. And LS3 has got to get a wee bit wiser. You can be brave, but you can also get buried with one big mistake, and that's really what in the end lost her the rack. That gave Cobra a run of, I think, like 3 balls. So the 1, 2 and the 9 have all gone on the break. Reverse bank the 5. And there's a reverse bank on the 3 as well, which is sitting very nicely. And this rack, well, that'll take Cobra to 3, and there's enough balls left to win this outright from the break here. This could be over. I don't think I've seen a run out yet in this tournament. Not that I've streamed all that many matches in the bank pool, but I don't think I've seen a run out from the break in banks. And that's just caught the 7, and I've yet to see one. So LS3 has 2 options here. She can cross bank the 6, I think, into that top right, and she can obviously reverse bank or bank up to top left, but she's going top right, and that's went to the rail too soon. So again, this is a sitting duck here for Cobra. You know, this is all out by LS3. This is a bit like what I seen Slim doing. Or did Acero have one? You know, Slim was going for anything he could see as a bank, and wasn't really worrying about what was going left for stub. Well, I'm surprised at that one. There are harder banks than that one that Cobra's just missed. And you think that LS3 is going to have to make something of this rack, or this match could run away very quickly here. Got to get off and running sooner rather than later. And again, that's gone way too wide. Now, a shot like that may well have needed to have been hit a bit firmer, I think. Again, the commentator's eye thinks that. You know, it's a bit too soft. I think it needed to be a wee bit more vigorous, that shot there. Again, Cobra having a go, and LS3's got a couple of choices here. The 4 looks the easiest, up and down. 6 is a bit of a cut up and down. It's got to be 4. That's a good pace if it holds the line. Yeah. Now, let's have a look at this 7. Well, the problem with the 7 is getting the cue ball out of the way again. And there's this going into the corner. I think that's the call. Way too short this time. And again, Cobra's come to the table with an easy invitational bank here on the 2. Up and down. Bottom left. Well, he's run into the 7 ball, and that might not be too bad because it's gave him an opportunity on the 1 ball, not great, and the 8 ball will go past the 9, so this is a much better opportunity in the 8, and that's well done. And now he's sitting reasonably okay in the 1. And the 9 is off the rail. This rack's over, folks. This is over. There you go. And Cobra 3-0 up. And it's less than 25 minutes played. We ain't hanging about here. Right, Steve's arrived in the room. Hang on a minute. Late to the party as usual.
I fell asleep.
Yeah.
I laid for a second. I fell asleep.
Well, this match ain't gonna last long, Steve. You can still go and catch up in your sleep because Cobra's not hanging around, and LS3 has well, I wouldn't say gifted opportunities, but there was one shot she played in the second rack there that opened things up, and it was a demise in the second rack, and the third rack just opened up here for Cobra. Now we're into rack number 4.
Well, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if Cobra's getting better at this game. I mean, he's the kind of player that typically does that.
Well, Stubb breezed past Slim last night as well, 6-1.
The 6 ball banks. See, this is what gets me is
now where's that banking, Steve?
6 ball? Just side pocket.
Well, you talking about nudging it onto virtually the point in the left hand side and back into this pocket here where the cue is?
Into the rail. Yeah, that ball banks.
So does that 7.
Yeah,
well done.
That was harder though. But Cobra, you know, he's the kind of player that he's going to get better. It's just the way he is. I mean, he's going to practice, and you know, he's already pretty good at most games. He'll get better at this one.
Well, tell me when you're awake enough to listen to my mini rant.
Your rant? Is this about your PC again?
Oh no, I've already done that. I don't want to give these guys any more of that. 2 things to cover. First of all, have you been messaged about the final ball in bank pool in Iraq?
No.
Right. So basically, what you need to do in bank pool is you need to have it set like 10 ball, where you must call the final ball at the end of each rack. You must be forced into calling that final ball, because we've had a couple of incidents because of it where the ball has gone in and it's ended up with a missed call, but it goes on to the next rack.
Yeah, but you can still miscall it.
I don't know that is specifically true, Steve. You'd need to talk to those concerned, because I believe that the other player had to miscall, not the player that played it, because the player that played it, from my understanding, couldn't do it.
I see what you're saying, because of the fact that it was a different players at the table, alternate break.
Yeah, so that's one thing to cover. The other one is a bit more minor, and it's a bit more of a rant on my understanding on what you did in that last update. I think on the support page it says that you fixed the full screen thing. Well, my conclusion to that is you didn't, because it looks absolutely no different. It's still got the bar at the top of the screen, and like I've experienced on other games, you hit the Alt button and it goes to full screen when you're in desktop mode. It still doesn't do that, so that isn't functioning the way I thought it would, and it does not get rid of the bar at the top of the screen. So that's it. Rant over.
Oh, well, I mean, that's not what he asked about. He asked about, you know, the maximize on the you know, and the maximize works now.
Well, the maximize might work, but when it maximizes in any other big game that I've played recently, I've had games. I think I'll give you an example. Microsoft Flight Simulator. When you load it up, it loads up and it checks.
But that's not the maximize. I mean, there's a difference between pressing F11 to go to full screen and maximize.
Right. Well,
I just did what Mark asked.
Right. Well, anyway, how is it some games, like example, Microsoft Flight Simulator, for some reason, I don't know why it does it, but it's not the only game that does it, but when it loads up, it checks for updates and stuff, and it gets through its loading, but it loads, for some reason, it loads in desktop mode, and then all you do is, you'll get windows at the top and bottom, you know, like the Windows border, and all you ever do in those type of games is you hit the Alt button and enter, and it goes to full screen. That was my understanding of how VP4 should be fixed.
Oh well, I mean that's something else.
Aye, well that was what I thought you were doing. So I've misunderstood what you were talking about, because it still has the bar at the top and bottom. Anyway, let's forget about that. Let's concentrate and see whether we might still have a match on here. Doesn't look like it, I'm afraid.
No, I mean this is a spanking here, and you know, as Cobra's obviously been practicing this a little. I mean, I'm sure he was already capable, but
yeah, he's locked away. He's locked himself away in a room from time to time, getting his practice in. Most of these guys are just winging it, and then they wonder why they're no longer in the tournament. And that had to get out of the way. That was the problem with that line.
Yeah, that was a difficult shot. But you know, like here, he's got 3 balls you can shoot it: the 7, the 5, or the 4. They all bank. A lot of people wouldn't bank this 4 ball, but it actually is not that hard to bank.
I can't even see the 4 ball. Where is it?
It's right next to the 9 ball.
Yeah, I'm looking at the bottom left here. It's the 2 and the 8 that's together.
Well, the real question is, which one can you shoot and then either play shape or take care of the cue ball? Well, see, that was a good shot in the sense that he took care of the cue ball. If he missed that, he wasn't going to give up a shot.
Well,
I hear, you know, if he wants, he could just play safe. Bump the 1 and roll behind the 8. And this is the kind of thing where, you know, like, this 5 ball isn't the easiest shot to shoot at.
Now, I think, was it Cobra? I think Cobra had a similar shot earlier on where that 4 ball is to reverse bank it back into this bottom right.
This is a tough shot right here on this angle on the 4.
Yeah, because he hit it into the jaw. And that's what he did.
No, this is too hard. The other shot that I was talking about on the 4, the angle is going to put the spin on the cue ball you want. This doesn't. So the only way you can spin the 4 is by putting English on the cue ball. The shot won't do it, and that's very difficult Yeah,
Well,
that's
LS3
very difficult.
she's gonna bring balls into play here, I think.
Yeah, and see
Which
this
obviously she needs to, but she has to get the 2 ball in the first place. And
she did, as she called a 2-railer.
No, she didn't. That's a gift for Cobra. The little bank up and down to the left for this 1 ball.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing is you're going to shoot at that ball, you best make it.
Oh, it was a foul. I think that's what it was. I think she wanted a replay there because it actually hit the 8-ball first. I'll soon see. I never noticed in the top right of screen. Well, it says illegal shot, not a bank shot, but presumably that doesn't. It doesn't confirm whether you hit the 8-ball or not, but it's still a foul.
That 5-ball bank there didn't shoot it, but.
Oh, I thought. Well, that 1-ball's no good. It's now a blocker.
Yeah, you can shoot by it, but it's probably not worth it.
Oh, you got to really nail that to get that past that one without feathering it one way or another, I think.
Yeah, that's why I don't think it's worth shooting in that pocket. But this is a good shot, and you can play position if you choose to.
Well, cross bank on the 5. No, it's a bit too tight. 2-ball.
So, you know, that was either. I'm not sure what she was trying to do there.
See, that's the thing as well. See, with LS3 having a go at that there, I think a lot of players like myself are forgetting that ball, that other ball's coming back in the table, and the cue ball's sitting anywhere on the table that could leave a bank on. That's where you've got to stay on your toes, remembering that a ball's got to come up. And, and then your opponent comes in and he's got a sitting duck there, pretty much.
I tend to think it's a little bit too much all out go for it. The match we saw between McClarkey and MC Clarkey and
I've forgotten who he was playing.
I think it was it Sharkey?
Was it Mr. Sharkey?
I can't remember. We saw one match. I know it was MC Clarkey where those guys actually.
Was it not Larry?
Oh, it was Larry. That's right.
Aye.
Yeah, and those two actually played the game the right way.
Hang on a minute.
If you're just going to play, I'm just going to go for everything, and the problem with doing that is that when you get against somebody that's good that doesn't have that attitude. I mean, the good players are going to shoot a lot of banks. There's no doubt about it. But if you can be a good player and kind of protect the cue ball some and not just shoot at everything.
Well, I think LS3's got to be careful here.
This is tough to miss the kiss. She's shooting the 2. You can do it. This can be missed. You got to stun this or you're going to miss the kiss. Looks like you're going to shoot the 1-ball.
What, past the 2?
No, into the past the 8-ball, corner the 8's in.
Oh yeah. I think I prefer the cut up and down in the 2-ball to this 1-ball. Yeah, it's well, she's not left anything really easy, but I think the way this 8 and 1-ball sitting, I think Cobra's going to go for the crossover here, I think.
Yeah, this 2-ball's not too bad. It's not automatic, but it's not too bad. You've got to watch out for scratching the corner. It hit this a little harder than you normally would, just to make sure you don't go into the corner pocket. You know, this is the kind of situation where you can be a little freer because really, well, you really just got to protect against the 4 and the 2 here because the 1 and the 8 are tied up.
Yeah, because LS3 needs these 2 open balls, whereas Cobra needs one of those balls that's tied up. So if I was LS3, I'd be staying well away from them. I certainly wouldn't risk banking up and down into that bottom right hand corner pocket, because if you hit it in the jaws and rattle, you could open those up. That's
Yeah,
the
but if
danger.
you're Cobra here, you know, you make the 4, you make the 2, and then you play safe.
Well, that changes it slightly. Because what it's done is it's not left anything this end of the table here for LS3.
Yeah, well, I mean, what you can do here is you bank the 8 out in the middle of the table, and you put the cue ball back behind there and don't leave a shot, and then, you know, you try to make it, put Cobra in a position where it's hard to play safe. Because honestly, it's not worth shooting at these balls and leaving something. And you know, that's what she's doing. She's shooting at balls that she's going to end up leaving shots.
Well,
and that's how you lose this game when you're up.
There's room for the 8 ball.
Yeah,
right.
there's room for the 8 ball, and you can play position here, or you can protect it. And see, that was a smart shot because he protected it. You know, he shot it in a way that he wasn't going to give up a shot to her.
Well, now we're going to get a little bit of manoeuvring here.
Yeah, the best kind of shot in this situation is putting the ball out in the open and playing safe. Because if you just leave them all clustered together, you may not give up a shot, but the trouble is it's easy for your opponent to play safe. See, that's not that productive.
See, could she not have pushed that 1 ball around the corner now and run the cue ball into the corner?
She could have done something like that and gotten the ball out, because it's too easy to play safe from here. You want to put your opponent in a position where they can't play safe easily, and they're going to give up a shot. And that was well done. And that's the problem with the shot LS3 played, is that it wasn't going to really be productive. You may not have give up a shot, but you're also not going to get yourself a shot.
No.
That was a little better shot there, because this, I'm not saying that there's not a way out of this, but this is a little tougher situation.
Now, can you kick back? See if that 2 and 9, sorry, 1 ball were lined up to the pocket. Can you kick the long rail and kick into it and call the 1?
No.
No, you can't.
Yeah, there's no kick shots in this game. I mean, you can play banks where you hit a lot of certain types of kicks, but she's gonna play the 2 railer here. It's fine as long as she hits it in a way she doesn't give up a shot. She didn't play the 2 railer.
Well, there's a 1 ball up top right here. You can get the cue ball out of the way. I think that's a bit tight. I think the 1 ball wants to immediately run into the cue ball if you try and play that.
Well, the safest shot here is probably brushing the 1 ball and going behind the 8. This shot she's looking at, where you're running straight into the 1 or 2. If you don't hit it good, you're going to give up a bank on the 8. And now that's the first time somebody's done a good strategy, because what you're doing now is you're putting a ball out there where all of a sudden, like, you know, that was Cobra's desk, and that's a good shot, because that's what I'm talking about. Now you've got a ball out in the open, and it's going to get a lot harder to play safe.
Yeah, the bait's there as well. I mean, LS3 could go for the crossover or the cut bank on that 4, and now that's.
Yeah, see, that wouldn't have been a good shot to shoot at. And once you did, I would have played safe, maybe tried to scoot the the cue ball into the 2 and behind it.
Well, this is actually giving Cobra a choice of 3 shots here. He's got the 1 up and down. He's got the 2 up and down. In fact, he's got the 4 if he wants it.
It's a game loser because Cobra can run 3 balls here pretty easily.
Yeah.
And, he's going to shoot the 8 probably, and then probably bank the 4.
All of a sudden, LS3, it's just become very apparent to LS3 now the shot she just played is more than likely going to cost her the rack.
Now here's something interesting. See, like Bankster would shoot this 8 ball because he understands how to shoot that. Cobra shoots the shot that's a lot harder than the 8 ball because, see, there's the shot he didn't understand was that 8 ball shot. The 8 ball shot, that's the one you hit with speed. Like a player like Bankster would have shot that 8 ball every time, and it was much, much easier than a 4 ball he shot it. So he gave up an opportunity there to run the 3 balls. It doesn't look like it's going to matter because LS3 struggling.
Way short there. Well, Cobra can cut this across into the bottom left, that 1 ball. He can do the same with the 8.
The 8 ball is a shot here.
No room.
You just got to think about where am I going to put the cue ball. Well, you got to make the ball. But yeah, a lot of players get into this thing where they're just firing away. They don't know where the cue ball's going. They're just trying to make banks, and they think the game's about, well, I'll just fire away, and the other guy will fire away, and I bank better, so I'll win. And that works great till you come across somebody that plays like Matt and Larry did, where they're going to make it tough by not giving up shots.
Well, what about just brushing that 4 ball and dinking in behind the 1? I don't think you're going to leave much on doing that. It's a really touchy shot, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to be able to shoot a ball rather than just play a straight safety. Sometimes a straight safety where you're not shooting at a ball is the thing to do. If you can shoot at a ball and protect, that's kind of your second option. It's a 2-way shot, and then there's the shoot at a ball and try to run balls where you're trying to play position.
Well, Cobra.
And Cobra has a chance to win right here. He can play this 8 ball either in 2 different corner pockets.
So the same shot again, crossover.
Well, or he could go the other way and play it down the table.
Aye, up and down.
Looks like he's going the other way.
Oh, that'll do it.
Yeah, so that shot's really not that difficult because you're cutting across the ball and putting the English on it. You're basically, all you're doing is cutting the 8 ball straight into the rail, and then induced English is going to open it up, and you're going to make the ball. That shot's almost automatic. It's really just getting the line right because you don't have to do anything with the cue ball.
Well,
and here we go, where this could be a bunch of balls run. This table, you play the 9 and play shape on the 4 ball. Oh, she hit it with topspin. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's dead. There's nothing doing there, I don't think. I mean, you can cut across the 6, but that's about it.
I just wanted to hit that easy. As soon as you hit that hard with top, it's going to hug the rail.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is all or nothing.
Yeah, and this is not the kind of shot you want to be shooting. The way the table's sitting, you can lose shooting at this. I mean, this is not an easy shot.
Well,
the one good thing is she messed the table up, but I mean, I think he's still going to have shots there.
Yeah. Well, neither of them are dead set, that 1 and 6 ball.
Well, if you're confident you can make the 6 ball, then you shoot that and just let the cue ball drift to the rail and shoot the 3 next. I guess you could play shape for the 1 ball too, although that's a lot trickier. Yeah, I think Cobra was trying to protect there, and he just sold out. Because the three ball is going to be a pretty easy bank. That's why I was saying play the 6 and play shape for the 3. If you're confident you make the 6, obviously Cobra wasn't.
Oh, this has got to go. Well, everyone's got to go now for LS3. This is last chance saloon, this rack.
Yeah, well, when you're down that much, it's not good in a game like Banks.
Yeah, and it's it's very unlikely you're gonna survive much longer anyway. Where that one mistake with the cue ball's very likely to happen sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and well, I mean, she actually came out on this really good because nothing is easy here. Yeah, I don't think you can shoot the 5. I think that it's too low. Well, that was a good try. That was a tough shot. Really need to maybe hit that with a little bit of left English to hold that shot. The 5's tricky. You might be able to bank it, but it's tricky. You'd have to hit that with right English and fairly slow to bank it. Yeah, she's going to try this. This is not going to work. Yeah, she just didn't. Well, it wasn't in the right spot to do that.
Well, I don't think it's finished all that bad.
Well, it's finished in a pretty good spot for her.
I've got to get the cue ball away here again with this 4 ball. I think that's asking an awful lot.
Yeah, I don't think you'd have to hit that with left English and kind of stun it across. It's pretty tight. That kiss is pretty tight there. He's looking at it, but see the problem there was what you really needed to do was stun that to give yourself more time to get the cue ball away, plus prevent it from going in the corner pocket, and then hit it with right or left English to help open it up more.
Well, Cobra can get rid of his deficit here. He's on -1.
Except he's not at the table.
Sorry, LS3 is at the table. I'm definitely needing my bed as well.
So you didn't tell me why didn't your computer boot again? I saw some posts on Facebook.
It had 16 gig of RAM fried, and I don't know when it happened. And I was saying to the guys earlier on that it might have happened some time ago and I wasn't aware of it. But how the PC kept working, I don't know. That's the thing that's baffled me, because I started thinking about how I was using XSplit Broadcaster and things were hanging up and stuff like that. Maybe that program uses a fair bit of resources and stuff, and I don't know whether that was affected by it or not. I haven't a clue. I'm not that clever. But on Saturday, when I got home from work, I put the PC on and it all lit up as normal, and I thought everything's fine. And then of course I'm getting no signal coming through on the monitor. So straight away I'm checking the HDMI cable's not come loose, the obvious thing. Then I've swapped to HDMI cable with another one to check that, still nothing. And then I went to my old DVI cable to check that. So I thought, right, well that establishes that it's very unlikely that it's the cable that's the problem, and I don't have a faulty HDMI socket in the back, and I don't have a faulty DVI connection in the back. So that took that out of the suspected issue. And so it was the middle of Saturday afternoon. I thought, right, that's as much as I know. And so I handed it back into the guy. To cut a long story short, he was only in the workshop on his own on Saturday, and he was working on other stuff, so they couldn't look at it on Saturday. And I found out on Monday when he sent me a text. He said it needed another, what do you call it, another block of RAM in it, because the other one was fried. That was his technical description. But the good end to the story is that it didn't cost me anything. He said he would do that as part of the previous thing, because I'd paid for the other one, although they weren't connected.
That was nice of them.
So they did that. So that, and of course he said, yeah, I fitted that in, and everything's booting up fine, good. So two totally unrelated issues, and that's never a good sign. It's a bit like a car. When things start going in a car, it only leads to expense in the long term.
Well, this 5-ball banks, the 6-ball doesn't. I don't think she can bank the 6-ball. You could bank the 5.
Well,
but you can't bank the 6.
The one bit of good news for LS3 is she's odds-on favourite to get a rack in the board here, one way or another. Cobra's in -2, so she couldn't have a better opportunity to steal one.
If she was going to try to get that 6 in, you'd have to hit that with left English to try to hold the 6 up. She tried to hit that just like was stun or little draw. That wasn't going to work. You had to put left English on it. Yeah, that's one thing I see quite a bit still, is players not using English to help make the shot.
Well, that's probably because, and I'm speaking for most of the guys, it's probably because we don't know that, and that's probably the answer. We don't know that.
Yeah, I guess.
Because it's not a thing you're when a bank comes up, you see the bank. You either see the bank or you don't.
Well, like here,
most of the time you miss it.
The 1-ball is a pretty easy bank, and she's going to shoot at a bank that's much more difficult here on the 2.
Good afternoon, good evening to Bill.
Mr. Bill's here. She's going to hit it good at least, though.
At least I can be honest.
That's a nice shot.
If I look at a bank, I'm just looking at picking the line for the bank to go in. I'm generally not looking to do anything with the cue ball with putting spin on it.
Well, but sometimes, like that 6-ball, you can't make that without putting spin on it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is most of us don't know that, Steve. That's the problem.
Well, she could do some damage here.
Well,
and that was a situation where she has an easy shot, and what she needs to do is play position for another shot, and she really didn't. I mean, she can shoot this 9-ball, but that's really not the shot you want for your next shot. It's just too tough.
Yeah, it's gone to real too soon, but now, of course, this is like earlier on, and it's what she's now going to leave Cobra.
So if you're Cobra, what you want to do here is play position on one of these balls. I mean, the 6 would be probably the prime one I'd try. So I'd probably shoot the 6-ball here, because that's a pretty easy bank shot, in my opinion.
Past the 1-ball. Where are we banking it?
Yeah, a 6-ball is a pretty easy shot. Yeah, it goes past the 1-ball.
There is some room.
Well, there's plenty of room. There's almost the whole pocket, really. I mean, if you look where the 6-ball is going to hit the rail, the 1-ball is blocking very little of the pocket. And instead, it shoots at a shot that's a lot harder. And that's part of playing this game is knowing enough about all these bank shots to be able to recognize the easy shots you've got. Because the hard ones, I think Cobra probably understood that 4-ball wasn't that easy a shot. But it's recognizing the easy shots.
Oh, this could be, it could be costly, that one. There's a 3-ball up and down.
Well, didn't leave anything that easy. I think he'll probably shoot at the 3. and the question is, what are you going to do? You're going to protect the cue ball, or are you going to try to play position? The 3 ball's hard enough. If I shot it, I'd try to protect the cue ball.
And that's always a problem. Is cutting across. You have to try and get the cue ball away somewhere.
Well, the good news is he didn't really leave much.
Yeah, I'd settle for that.
I think that was kind of his plan, the way he shot that ball. I think he was trying to protect the cue ball and make the 5.
Now, does the 9 ball have room? Yes, it does. It's going way too short.
And that's a pretty good shot because didn't leave a whole lot.
No, I don't know.
But if you're Cobra, you're thinking I can shoot this 8 ball. It's a free shot because I'm not going to leave anything. So you shoot this 8 ball soft in the side pocket, and you're not going to leave a shot as long as you don't pop out too far. There's really nothing. So I would shoot this 8 ball every time.
Now he's going into the corner here.
Yeah, see, this I don't like because...
Well, he ended up getting a double kiss, and that could, again, could be costly.
Yeah, because again, here's the situation where, somebody could run out from here. Good bank player's going to shoot this 4 and play shape on the 5.
That's the one thing I was going to ask you. Did Efren ever play? Did Efren ever play in the banks at Derby City?
Sure.
He did.
Oh yeah.
Must have won it once or twice in his time.
Oh yeah. Well, he won Master of the Table a bunch of times. Trying to remember how many times he won Master of the Table. I think maybe 4 times.
Now, is Master of the Table the culmination of 2 or 3 other events? Like maybe the...
Yeah, it's a combined result from banks, 1 pocket, and 9 ball.
Right.
And it pays the most. And Efren won it, I think, 4 times.
Well, I reckon he could bank in his sleep.
Oh no, Efren Bank's really good. I mean, he does everything good. Would I say he was the best banks player there? No, but he was really, really strong.
Well, Cobra has the slight advantage at the moment.
Yeah, so he could shoot at the 3. The 5 I don't like. He could shoot at the 8. He looks like he's shooting a 4, and that's a fine shot there.
That's well played.
Yeah. And,
perfect pace.
Those shots aren't as hard as you would think. The main thing on a shot like that is just getting the line, because the ball's going to open up with induced English.
Now,
you get a feel for those shots. This is...
Well, it ain't going this time, that 9 ball.
No. He can bank the 6, and he's shooting the same shot with a 6. And that's a tendency there to over-rotate that, because...
Well, you see how that 6 ball went into the rail, and it went that way,
Yeah, you've got to hit that shot with some left English to try to take some of the throw off, because where he had to hit it because of the 9 there, he had to reduce the amount it opened up, and the way to do that is by using left English there. Because you can remove the induced spin with left English, because he didn't want to open that one up.
It's got to go. It's a nice pace. Every shot's a life or death situation here for LS3. With the way these balls are sitting in the open as well, that going to hold the line? No, it hasn't.
No.
And it's a free go here for Cobra, and that could be match over. Because he only needs the 2. The 9 ball doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, he's protected the cue ball. Yeah. He did not play position. He protected. So from here,
you've still got to go for
This is
this, though,
tough.
even though it's
He's
horrible.
he's going to go in the corner up on the right because this is the safest way to shoot this. Yeah, see, he's shooting this in the pocket that's safest. You're not going to you could leave a long bank here possibly, but probably not where that 9-ball is.
I'm sure that's the pocket he called there.
Yeah, you just want, yeah, it is. You just want, no, he didn't call that pocket, did he? No, he called this one up here.
Ah, I've got my camera around the wrong way.
But he hit it terrible. I mean, that was really hit poorly. Then again, here's this bank where, you know, there's a kiss there if you're going to come back down the table. Crossing, it's the safe thing to do. Shooting in the same corner Cobra tried to. Can you miss this kiss? Yes, you can miss this kiss, but first you got to be aware it's there, and then you kind of got to decide what to do to miss it.
Oh,
and,
there we go.
And she didn't miss it.
And is it going to set up here for Cobra for the match?
Well, I mean, he's got a shot here. He can't shoot the 2-railer because the 9-ball's there, so he's got a shot he can shoot down the table, and I think he will shoot it.
Is he not cutting into? Yeah, he's cutting it into this corner here. Yeah.
He's shooting at which corner?
This one where my donut is in the stream.
Oh, yeah. See, this is, again, he's playing safe. Now, this ball you want to hit with right English and draw it and take the cue ball 2 rails around the corner. See, he didn't hit it that way.
Yeah, I think it was a sort of half-hearted attempt. He was more worried about where the 6 ball was really going to end up. And he didn't juice it up. I think he needed to juice it up a bit to get it in.
He hit it at pocket speed. The thing is at pocket speed, you're probably not giving up a shot.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, he's the one that's on the hill. And he's not left anything here remotely simple for LS3. Well, this is going around the corner into the side. Oh, double kiss again. Yeah,
that was a tough ball to shoot at. And I think did she give up the game winner? Yeah.
You can go for the 2-railer.
No, I'd back up single rail this with you used right English and just to help this.
Going that way.
And this shot isn't really that hard. I mean, it's not a guaranteed, but you want to hit this with right English.
Now, where's he called that into the top right?
Yeah, and he's hitting it with right English. Oh, he's down where the butt of his cue is. And
that's that game, set, match.
So that's what I'm saying, is that shot isn't that hard. If you play banks, you're going to have a good feel for that.
Well, good evening and good night to Tommy.
Tom, you got here just in time for it to be over.
Well, that's 2 matches, one after the other. One from Slim and Stubb last night. Stubb won 6-1. And likewise for Cobra against LS3.
I'm a little surprised that Slim got beat that bad by Stubb.
Well, Slim was saying it in the stream. He was just going for his shots, and when they started not coming off, you know, he won the first rack, and then it went downhill from there.
He lost 6 straight. Wow.
This will update in a second. We've got Albinario against MC Clarkey still to be arranged, but the winner of that match will play Cobra in round 4. And then in the bottom half of the draw, we've got Stubb lined up in round 4 with Bedhead, so that takes care of the winner side.
We've got some good matches coming up here. I mean, I think all of those matches are going to be good.
Now, just a quick plug for tomorrow night. Tomorrow night in the Snooker World Championship, there's actually 2 matches on the schedule, but the one tomorrow night is the one lost side match between Mal and Mr. Sharkey. That goes ahead at 8 PM British Summer Time. Of course, it's a race to 4, so that actually might not take long, that match, because Mal likes to move it along quite quickly.
Yeah, I'm probably going to miss that match because I'll be out there with the little white ball.
Yeah, it won't be that long. There's also the match on the Sunday at the same time at 8 PM on Sunday evening, and that's the one in I don't know what round it is, round 3, maybe round 4 on the Snooker World Championship, Albinario and Semi-Pro. So Albinario is still in line for the double. He's still in the winner's side on the bank pool, and he's still on the winner's side in the snooker.
That's going to be a good one, Albin and Semi-Pro. I mean, it's hard to pick a favorite there. I think, you know, if Semi-Pro actually comes out and performs like he's capable of, I think he's the favorite.
Yeah, but
Albin's no slouch, and Albin's, well, usually more consistent.
Well, Semi-Pro will be the more, the way I see it, Semi-Pro will be the more aggressive. The thing is will it be too aggressive and pay the price by, you know, landing awkward, and then Albinario just comes in and sweeps up the mess behind him? You never know. It could work out for Semi-Pro, it could go against him, but Albi's got the game to you know, make Semi pay a heavy price, and likewise Semi-Pro. If Albinario gets a bit too loose, you know, you could have anything happen in this match. I don't think I'll be able to see it all. That's the only thing. It just depends how quickly it goes. It could run to well past my bedtime.
Yeah, I think what Semi-Pro needs to do is be a little more selective about when he goes into the pack, because if you've got a few balls kind of sitting out there, you know, the smart play is to kind of pick those things off and whittle down to where, you know, you don't have any reds out there, and then go into the pack and separate them. And the reason I'm saying that's a smart play is that, you know, if you go into the pack, you don't know what's going to happen, and some of those balls that are available may not be. And the one thing you do know is that there's a real good chance that if you go into the pack like that with balls kind of out around and you miss, you're going to give up a probably the whole frame.
Well, that's where you know, I say you have to be cautious. Sometimes you're far better off taking what's there, and then just ducking for cover and leaving your opponent to be the aggressor and make mistakes. So you've got to play safety and play aggression in equal measure. Yeah, you're right, Tommy. You do play LS3. I had a quick check there. So Tommy's lined up with LS3 on that one loss side in the bank.
Well, this is going to be good. This is getting good. Let's see. How many weeks do we have left? I think we probably are getting to the point where we can put the next tournament up.
Well,
we were thinking straight pull, right?
No, it was a toss-up between...
8-ball bar table.
It was a toss-up between 8-ball bar table and straight pull. Well, I mean, let's be honest, they weren't happy at the bar pool table when it first came around the first time, but they still played in it. And Semi-Pro won that. But I mean, both of these tournaments are past their anniversary, so they're well over their year old. So one of them has to be played. But the only thing I say is that straight pull should go back to normal pockets to make it more of a punishment if you make mistakes, and a good opportunity for scoring heavy.
The way these pockets are playing now, there'll be some pretty high runs, I think, with normal pockets and straight pull. Stubb will complain about it because Stubb wants to play tight pockets because he doesn't play smart, but everybody else will be good with it.
Yeah. So that's the only decision. It's in your hands. I don't hear any contributions from the crowd. No, see their bedhead complaining straight away. He wants narrow pockets.
We won't do narrow pockets. We'll be doing the club pockets.
Stubbs typed in the lobby, rotation on the 10-footer.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'd love to have a rotation tournament, but we just don't have very many players playing rotation. The Filipino rotation, and one pocket. Yeah, well, I'd love to have one pocket, but that's not going to happen.
That would be 4 in the tournament then. Stubb, Bedhead, and Slim, and who's the other fella from Colombia or wherever he's from. That would be 4 in the tournament, a semi-final and a final. Probably have to make it double elimination just to make it go longer. Don't have the patience to sit and watch for an hour. Well, that's the thing, Bedhead, but the shoe could be in the other foot if you got your game together and made some big runs. That's what it's all about. The penalty is severe if you muck up and let the other guy in.
Bedhead wants narrow pockets.
Yeah, he wants that. He wants to make it tougher for himself.
Yeah.
I just thought that on the normal pockets it was far more interesting to watch with the pressure on trying to get the high run.
Yeah, well, guys are gonna run a lot of balls if you make a mistake on those normal pockets.
Yeah. Right then, I'm going for a coffee. Steve can go back to bed.
Yeah.
And I will be here tomorrow night for that match with Mal and Mr. Sharkey, I think it is. I'll be here 8 o'clock it starts, so I'll be here in good time. I'm off tomorrow and I'm off Thursday. And all things going according to plan, I should be here. PC's working good, touch wood. So thanks to Steve for joining us. I'll bid you all good night. Take care. We'll see you again soon.
I thought you were supposed to knock wood, not touch it.
Well, if I knock it, I'm scared my desk's going to collapse. Everything else is breaking down, so I don't want the desk to fall apart. Right, anyway, I'm heading south.
All right, good night, guys.
Thanks again, Steve. Good night.